Hi, I'm Chelsea Thomas Carrison. I work at Safe on Maine. We are Stopping Abuse for Everyone. So we were formerly, up until February, known as the Abuse and Rape Crisis Shelter of Warren County. So I'm Chelsea Thomas Carrison. I'm the Director of Community Engagement. So my job is to go out into the community and educate people on what we do, but also about domestic violence and about sexual assault and human trafficking and why those things are so important for us to pay attention to. So a little bit about the history of Safe on Maine. So actually in 1984 is when we opened our doors as a 2-bedroom domestic violence shelter. We were known as the Family Abuse Shelter of Warren County. Then in 1997, we broadened our scope to also include sexual assault survivors. So that is when we changed our name to the Abuse and Rape Crisis Shelter. And we started to work more with those survivors. So that could mean going to a hospital when there's been a sexual assault or a sexual violence, and helping that person through what's going on, letting them know of their rights, and making sure that they feel supported by their community and by an advocate. In 2001, we also began doing prevention services. So we go into schools and we do healthy relationship class. We do a couple of days of sexual assault prevention at the high school level. I'll be telling you guys a little bit more about those services in a moment. So we're really proud of being able to do both intervention and prevention under one roof of Safe on Maine. So we're proud to say in 2022, we actually have a 20-bed domestic violence shelter. So we have 20 beds. Unfortunately, those beds seem to be staying full. This is definitely still an issue. I was just talking to someone out in the lobby, just really surprised to know that this is still happening. In our day and age, this is still happening. And we were talking about domestic violence is, by nature, something that is usually kept secret. An abuser is behind closed doors, and it is very easy for them to get away with it, so to speak. So we will, as I'm presenting today, talk about why is that? Why is a culture actually perpetuating some of these things? And is there anything that we can do about that? So this is kind of the scope of our issue. When we talk about intimate partner violence, that is what you know as domestic violence. So that means that there are, it could be your spouse, boyfriend, girlfriend, someone who is your intimate partner. I won't go through all of these for time's sake, but all of these numbers are super startling. They're way too high. 1 in 4 females, 1 in 9 males, that is really, really scary. I know that a lot of people probably question, like, wait, a guy is a victim of domestic violence? Yes, in our shelter we have helped men. 1 in 9 males is actually expected to deal with some type of domestic violence throughout their lifetime. So this is very much a problem. And I would actually guess that number is a lot higher. I think a lot more men are victims of domestic violence, but it's just not reported. A man tends to not want to seek services because they feel like this is a women's issue, or they feel like it will make them look weak if they would report that. That couldn't be further from the case. I have seen and worked with males in this field, and I am so proud that they came forward and decided to get away from this situation that they're in. And then not a lot of these cases are prosecuted, unfortunately. in Warren County, I think that we have a great law enforcement presence, and we work with them very frequently. I think they do a great job nationwide and just statewide, and we even have work to do at the local level. This is just because of the nature of domestic violence and sexual assault. You've heard a he said, she said story. That's a hard case to prosecute. So hopefully we will be able to all work together to make sure that these cases are getting heard. These are some of the reasons why violence is still perpetuated in our community. So you guys see that 99% match in the corner. That's what my Netflix looks like when I go to watch something. It's like, that's a really violent show. I don't know if you guys have watched that. It's about a man who is a stalker, and we kind of like grow to almost like his character. And it's like, wait a second though, he's an abusive guy. He's a violent guy. But I'm watching this and I'm learning this is a relationship. This is my model maybe even of a relationship. So we just have to really be aware when we're watching these things and when we're comparing that we know what those signs are of an abusive or unhealthy relationship. Social media, so we're seeing on Facebook, not so much with the younger crowd, we're seeing Instagram, Snapchat, TikTok. There are TikTok challenges that have even become very harmful. So all of these things contribute and actually help to perpetuate violence in the community. And if we're not aware of it, it's going to be really hard for us to teach our kids about it and make sure that our youth are growing up knowing what a healthy relationship is and having the skills to be able to stop a abusive relationship from happening. And I'm not talking about the survivor. I'm talking about the person who is causing the unhealthy or abusive relationship to happen. So I've been in classes before where after class kids have come up to me and they've said, I think that I might be doing some of those unhealthy things that you were talking about. I think that I'm the one who gets really jealous when my dating partner wants to talk to someone else. Or I'm the one who makes rules for them that they can't go certain places. So that's what our program is all about, is giving kids the skills to recognize if it's happening to them or if they are the one who is possibly doing that to a dating partner. This is a TikTok challenge that I've been seeing a lot recently. And it says, your boyfriend is a cheater if, and then it's like a little song and it keeps going on. And it says like, if he breathes air or if he owns a car. Because who's he trying to go talk to in his car? Who's he breathing air for? And it's like, wait a second. What? Like that is perpetuating a toxic relationship, and this is actually a female perpetuating that. So they're essentially saying, I'm really jealous of you for even having a car because you might go and talk to someone who behind my back. So total lack of trust happening with this challenge. So I only had 10 minutes today, so I tried to pick a little bit of topics that we're dealing with right now, that we're talking about. But I also wanted to share with you some statistics. So we, in our POWER program, that stands for Positive Outcomes When Expecting Respect, and we do that at all the junior highs in Warren County, most of the high schools in Warren County. And after the class, we ask them to fill out a post-test about the knowledge that they've learned. And we ask them, have they ever been in an abusive relationship, or do you know anyone who has been in an abusive relationship? And this is in Warren County. And 40% of them say they have been in an abusive relationship or they know somebody, one of their friends. We're talking about high schoolers and junior high kids. So this is a problem that we have in our community here in Mason, here in Carlisle, in Franklin, in Warren County. But we are doing a really good job of combating it, of making sure that kids are educated, like that kid in class who came up and said, I think I'm doing some of these things. That is amazing for that kid to have that realization and then be able to want to do something about it and want to be a better dating partner. So my message for you guys, and I'm not sure if in our audience you guys are mostly parents, maybe just people who work with youth, but let's be leaders in our community. Let's stop things from happening. If we see somebody making a rape joke, we say something about it. We step up and we say, no, that's not okay. What's going on with the Cleveland Browns right now? We're seeing a lot of things in the news. We saw Bill Cosby getting out of jail. There's lots of opportunities in our lives where we can, just in conversation, do the right thing and make sure that we aren't helping to perpetuate violence in our community, and that our youth have the skills to have healthy relationships and to hold each other accountable to doing the right thing. So I think that's about all of my time. I appreciate you guys listening to me today, and I hope you have a really great rest of your safety summit. There's a lot of great resources out there.